It is not surprising that there are thousands of motion-activated cameras installed all across the United States and the rest of the world. Given that trail cameras can aid in tracking deer movements, capture trespassers in the act, aid in the estimation of wildlife population sizes, and more. They're going to occasionally take some strange, absurd, or just plain scary photos with that many cameras out in the open. From ghosts to wild children and Bigfoot, here are top 10 scary trail cam videos we weren't supposed to see. If you want to be stunned and amazed, watch this video to the end, subscribe to the channel, grab some snacks, and let's go. 10. Fresno Nightcrawler. According to mythology, a Fresno man called Jose was awakened by his barking dogs one early morning, and through his camera system, he captured a glimpse of a mysterious figure that is now known as the Fresno Nightcrawler. In Yosemite National Park in 2011, eerie figures that resembled the Fresno Nightcrawler were apparently seen on camera. The Fresno Nightcrawler has gained internet renown in the years since the man was first apprehended, and the History Channel has even featured the tale. 9. Bruja Llorando. It is obvious right away that this isn't a typical creature because it appeared collapsed on a narrow path, evoking savage weeps and sobs. The woman's body is distinctive for having crimped white hair and for being covered in mud or filth, but what stands out most are the strange limbs with the unusually extended fingers. Many would contend that these are razor-sharp claws that could readily gash their victims anywhere in the world. This video is arguably similar to the witches or brujerias of Latin America, who combine spirituality and religion in many sorts of spiritual rituals involving witchcraft. 8. A Masked Trespasser. Homesteading Off the Grid is a YouTube video that focuses on finding the causes of unexplained events in its creator's backyard. It can be found under the relatively bizarre section of YouTube. In one of his uploads, he showed a spooky visitor lurking on his property who may have known that he was homesteading off the grid and had a flair for using cameras to keep an eye on his vast estate. He claims to have recorded loud, unsettling noises made by enormous animals or monsters. The intruder arrived well-dressed, with a hideous mask and all-black attire to maintain his anonymity. Unfortunately, this concurrently presented drawbacks for him as he slowed down and his arms immediately pinged the YouTuber's security system. 7. Gargantuan Bears. Gargantuan bears, along with rats, raccoons, and squirrels, are among the pests that never leave our dumpsters alone. But what if a bear finds too much food in the wild or in our trash cans? The short answer is that they might become very fat, which is bad news for anyone or anything that wanders into the woods without meaning to. Just take a peek at this Minnesota bear's size. It might weigh close to 1,000 pounds. Park rangers are baffled as to how it managed to get that body, whether it hunted effectively but unsuccessfully or perhaps it scooped too much salmon into the river downstream. A few months prior, a different camera saw the black beast chasing a brown bear when the latter entered its territory and ran away without hesitation when it noticed the size difference. 6. Bigfoot evidence. Perhaps the most convincing piece of evidence ever discovered about the most well-known cryptid Bigfoot in North America can be found in this video. It was taken in Alberta, Canada, by a lone traveler who was hiking in the mountains close to Crescent Falls. His curiosity drove him to leave his trail camera, which can record live video, after he observed an oddly placed shelter in a field and noticed that the shattered twigs and branches around suggested that something strong might be hiding there. Not long ago, he received a notification on his phone alerting him to movement, and what appeared to him was the image of a large upright beast with long limbs covered in dark fur. 5. Salford Alien. At Greater Manchester, where this breathtaking video was captured by a scared witness. The video shows a bald, lanky figure creeping out of the shadows. This creature is far too tall, thin, and pale to be a human, and it doesn't appear to have the characteristics of a typical human. It also looks to have a bulging cranium that is facing backward and a straight gait. According to the definition of creepy, the anonymous account that published the video claims that it was lately the subject of government cyber attacks. 4. Grim Reaper. As seen in this image, the Reaper occasionally decides to take matters into its own hands when it is especially excited about the forthcoming All Hallows Eve and scrambles off to gather ghosts to deliver to the underworld. Timestamped on October 7, 2012. Early in the morning, death found itself hunting in a Louisiana forest. Sources are, of course, murky because this occurred more than 10 years ago. As a result, no one can definitively tell if this is the Reaper or not, even though a dozen internet users have made that assumption in light of the perfect time of the capture and the year 2012. This was captured at the height of the apocalyptic craze, so someone in the neighborhood must have decided to scare the owner into thinking the afterlife is making its call by placing the statue close to his hidden recorder. Regardless of the truth, the image did its job and undoubtedly gave the owner of the camera a memorable jump scare. 3. Raccoon camaraderie. Raccoons are capable of the same feats as humans, proving that there is no I in teamwork. This uploader was fortunate and quick-witted enough to grab his phone and record a family of raccoons that he came across on an empty trail road. He observed that Mommy and Daddy had no trouble scaling the wall because they were big and agile, but the kid had difficulty, so the parents decided to lend a helping hand, and the two were successful in no time. The entire video serves to highlight the couple's exceptional problem-solving skills as they hauled their infant up the 3-foot wall and even seems to check to see whether he was okay. 2. Lizard Man. The lizard man of the swamp or scape has long been a terrifying presence in Lee County, South Carolina folklore, haunting villagers since the 1980s. Numerous cars apparently had been looted and were covered in muddy footprints, teeth marks, and scratches. A 17-year-old reportedly claimed to the sheriff that a 7-foot-tall, green, monstrous creature had destroyed his car. He described the creature as having 3 fingers on each arm and scales that resembled snakes. Following that, villagers went on a comprehensive search for the creature, looking into marshes and setting up cameras. A select handful of them eventually discovered fleeting indications of the lizard man. Wacky Friday. Cameras set up to monitor a rumored mountain lion in Gardner, Kansas Park captured more than they bargained, for it wasn't big wild cats that rolled up on tape. They were posing pranksters dressed up in various funky suits. The police department shortly issued a statement thanking the free-spirited citizens for noticing the recorders and making efforts to make light of the situation. It's interesting to see how much bizarre stuff there is in the dark and in the woods, because the images were taken over a series of nights with skunks and coyotes gracing the lens in between appearances of the prankster group. We hope you liked this video. If you did, please make use of the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell so you won't miss out on our amazing videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.